Well, I think it's going to be a partly cloudy day today and windy, but I am in preparation for it warming up. I'm wearing my shorts. Even my dog is too cold to sit out here without a blankie. I think I'm going to try to cook some biscuits. You know them red lobster biscuits that come in a box? I mean, the mix, I don't know how, it's magic. You put water and stuff in it, and then, uh, you know, you bake it or something. Well, anyway, I'm going to try to do that in the all-season solar cooker. Let me mention this. Somebody said that he had gone up to $97. Well, I went, he did tell me that he was going to have to go up. Excuse me. This is pollen season. I just got a text, and I was reading the text. Sorry about that. Crap. I lost my whole train of thought. That's what happens. That's what happens when you get old. Let me hit this coffee a little bit and think about it. Okay. Bread. You know, I'm not a big bread eater, but I do like good bread. You know, like Red Lobster biscuits and bread that's got little bits of onion in it, but just plain old white bread or wheat bread, I can take it or leave it. And sometimes the only time I ever use bread is to hold stuff like meatloaf without getting my hands dirty. But today I'm going to try to cook some biscuits in that all season. Oh, I know what I was talking about. The price increase. And I don't know if he's gone up yet, but he did tell me that he was considering it because all his costs have gone up. And he what he said was kind of funny. He said at this point it's nearly just a charity. I understand, that's the same thing with my knife making. By the time I make a knife, I have spent so much on the steel, the wood, the sandpaper, the leather, that by the time I actually sell it, the shipping now, it's pretty much 12 or 14 bucks to ship any of the knives except the very, very smallest knives that fit in the very smallest box, and it's like $9, almost 10, $9.85, something like that. So I get what he's saying, that at some point you're just selling stuff because it's a hobby and you're not making a dime on it, and that's kind of where I'm at with my knives. And I understand that's what he's saying about his stoves. At some point, you got to call it a charity instead of a for-profit business. So if he does go up, it's perfectly understandable. And somebody said he went to $97. And I went to Amazon and looked, and I did see this at the $97, but I also saw two others where you could buy it for $84 if you're a Prime member, or $74 if you're not a Prime member, with like $12 shipping or something. So maybe he has, and that's the price of his new stuff that he's shipping out, and he's going to go through the old inventory at $84. I don't know. But regardless, for a $100 bill, you get tons of fun cooking in the sun. Oh my God, I didn't even plan that, and it rhymed. Oh, that's good. I'm going to write that down. All right, here's the All-American Sun oven, and I'm preheating it. I'm going to cook me some Red Lobster biscuits and some cornbread. I'm going to let this heat up probably another hour. I want to get it up as hot as I can possibly get it, because the pans that I'm going to be putting in there don't have lids on them. I got a bee flying around me. And I want it to cook as quickly as possible, and maybe even brown the tops. We'll see. So I'm going to give this about an hour. It's like 10:30 or so, which by the time I get ready to bring them out here, it will be the hottest part of the day. My shadow was a little shorter, so in an hour, I think this will be hot enough for me to bake in real quick. Well, it was earlier than I thought it was, but here they are. Let's go out to the All-American Sun oven and get these started. It's a gusty, windy 48-mile-an-hour gusts today. I mean, this is just uncommonly. We don't get this kind of wind here. I mean, we get mild breezes sometimes, but these kind of high winds are just highly, highly uncommon for our area. So let me get out there. I don't know if the wind is going to have anything to do with lowering the temperature of my... I don't think it will on that oven because it's an enclosed oven, so we'll see. All right, it's 300, and it'll only get hotter when I do a better job of keeping this aligned. So let's get these in there. I'll have to use the oven mitts to take them out. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, I think I can still see it. All right. I'm gonna give these about, oh, I don't know, 30 minutes. Let me aim this a little bit. All right, I'll give this about 30 minutes and come back and see what they look like. Or not that, these. So we lost about 25 degrees just in that little bit of having it open, but it will heat back up very quickly. We'll be back. Well, for some reason, the temperature dropped significantly. I don't know if you can see that, but it's down to like 200. And my God, the wind is blowing so hard, I'm afraid it's gonna pull the reflectors off. Just unbelievable. So it kind of looks like it's doing its thing. I can already see cheese melting over here in this one. There's cheddar cheese in that. That's just regular cornbread. And I'll give it another half hour. It's still aimed good. You can tell by the, in here, that's the aiming device. And here's another aiming device. But yeah, it still looks, I don't know why the temperature dropped so significantly, but you know, I'm committed now. We'll see. Another half hour. All right, I have actually sat here with my hand on this. I had a couple of gusts come up that were so high that it actually moved the cart, and I thought it was going to break my... So they appear to be done, and I can't see the temperature gauge because while I'm during one of the movements, it fell back behind the rack that it's on. So let me get these in the house and I'll cut them open and see if they're done. Well, I'll tell you, this is done, and this seems like it was done way before this, and this is just barely done. I got to tell you, this was the worst condition you could ever... I actually moved a chair over beside the solar oven to hang on to it because a couple of gusts were so hard it moved the entire cart. And even my wife said, we have never, ever experienced this kind of wind gusts, you know, during storms. But this is it's a sunny day, you know, a normal day. The wind gusts are so hard, it almost blew her down. It almost blew me over when I wasn't prepared for the wind. So that's what it looks like. And on top of that, I think the wind was sapping a lot of the heat away from... So without a doubt, you can cook cornbread in a solar oven. Biscuits, I'm not so sure. I'm gonna put me a little butter on this and try it, but I'm not gonna show you how much butter because that's between me and my heart doctor. I'll be right back. All right, if I had stayed out there another, oh, I don't know, 20 minutes, this would have been perfect. Or if it wasn't windy, the amount of time that I was there probably would have been perfect, but I got a feeling it's gonna be just not quite done. So let me take a taste. It tastes good. Yeah, it's a little bit doughy, so definitely more time. But the cornbread, there's a peek at my butter. I'm not a big cornbread eater. I rarely eat it. My wife will eat that cornbread, I won't. But, you know, I just want to see if you could cook cornbread. So if you were eating cheap, you could cook a pone of cornbread and a pot of beans. And you could feed a family in a solar oven. And this, if it had not been so windy, and if I had left this in there another 10 or 15 minutes, I think it would have been perfect. But it's just a little bit doughy. So it's a can do for both, but you couldn't do like I did, cook both at the same time, because this was done, and this was 15 minutes from being done. All right, just experimenting here. Okay, I won't mention it again. Definite fail here. Sorry you had to see that. Definite fail. Real success. You know, good. I mean, it was probably done 10 minutes before I took this out. And this, I have no idea. I don't know how much longer or if it would have. I didn't read the box. I don't know what kind of temperatures it was needed to cook this or the length of time, but I stayed out there all I wanted to stay out. I had to hold it, so I was kind of done. Anyway, I would think that on a sunny day with no wind, where the reflectors weren't bouncing all over the place and the cart wasn't moving around, I could probably cook this. And to top it all off, you're supposed to spoon out the batter, this stuff, and then put it on a sheet, and then it makes these like dollops. So that may be part of the reason also. I didn't do this right. I just put it in a loaf pan. That was my idea. And my wife said, that'll never work. And I said, sure it will. I know what I'm doing. I'm the chef. Anyway, she was right again. Boy, does that get old. All right, I'm throwing this away.